Hello and welcome back to another super exciting LEGO Mega Build episode. We're on step 287 of... Actually, how many steps is it? I've never even looked at that. Is it 1,000? It's out of 1,378, which could be a specific number. I don't know. Right, I left myself in not a great stopping place apparently. Damn it. It's all become awkward now. I can't just... Here we are. Need 6 of these, 4... Wait, none of those apparently. No, that's a different thing. I was very confused there. 3, 4, 5... 5 were easy to find, then 6 is impossible apparently. It's going to be right. Here it is. Right. Some wedges. And yep. 4 with kind of holes in them. Perfect. Yep. So building this on the day, well, it's not actually the day, today's Friday, Solo, a Star Wars story, I think that's what it's called, is actually due out today. Well, no, it came out yesterday on the Thursday, but who sees a film on a Thursday? That's madness. So it's out today. And I think like the rest of the world, or the nerd world, I don't care. I'm going to see it, but I'm not overly excited about it, which is normally a good sign because it means I expect nothing of it and then I'll be surprised if I like it and nonplussed if I don't. But that's tonight, so there's really nothing to talk about there. I did, however, hang on, have I just built 2 separate things? I did, however, I saw Deadpool on there. Between this and last episode, I seem to remember last time I said, yeah, I was quite excited about seeing Deadpool 2 specifically. I'm not that far out of the loop. So I've made these little things, and what do? They go in these gaps, thus completing. Yes, the tunnels are now rounded to a nice degree. That's unsettling. There's clearly something missing here. Did I fail to put it in last time? I do seem to remember something falling out. Can't see anything that's fallen out. So there's a hallway entrance here. And it's missing part of its archway that this bit I've just built is supposed to go on top of. I'm thinking maybe I skipped that step last time by accident. That can only be it. I'm now doing the unspeakable and rebuilding. Yeah, Deadpool 2 is pretty good. It's worth seeing. It did something that really annoys me whenever they do this in superhero films. It had a bit, I'm not going to go too spoiler heavy on it. It had a bit where Deadpool loses his powers. I hate that when they have a superhero and they lose their powers, particularly if it's like the second one in a series. Because the origin story, normally they won't have their powers for like half of that anyway. And in my mind, the powers is the best bit. Then in the sequel, they take away their powers. It's like, oh, right, so we still haven't got, the one we want. It weren't that long of a stretch, to be fair, but still, it annoys me. I hate it when they do that in like Logan. Well, not in Logan itself. In the Wolverine, he lost his healing powers, kind of. He didn't fully lose them because he definitely gets shot and is still walking around with ease. But he's not like 100% okay. There we are. Yep. I really messed up last time. I didn't remotely finish building this section. It's like I finished halfway into a set of instructions. I need something with a hole in it. A little square piece. Should be immediately noticeable. It was. Good. There we go. Pop that on there. Damn it. It's too far away. I don't want to move. Now this will fit nice and snug. Perfect. Next page. Good. It's a fresh building thing. Some blues in there. A spot of luck this weekend. I had a sudden urge to play the game Don't Starve out of nowhere. I think I have mentioned this in the past, and but I was too tight to buy it, so I thought I'd wait until it's on sale. And now this weekend, Steam are doing this. I think they call it spring cleaning, which is it's a really weird idea because I can't see as it will really make them any money. Basically, they're giving away a load of badges, which if you're not on Steam are sort of like achievements, I suppose. I don't really know how to describe them. They're badges. That's just what they are. I've actually put this on top of a lot of useful stuff. Apparently everything I need right now. Yeah. And the way you get these badges, you have to do. There's essentially two routes. One is to play games in your library that you've like never played or haven't played. I think there's about 6 badges. One of them was to play a game in your library that you've played for more than 2 hours and you haven't played for some time. It didn't say like how long that time was. But I looked, and unfortunately my library's all over the place because I've used an idling service in the past. So there's a lot of games I have played for more than 2 hours. But there was another one that was like play a game you've never played, which in my library is even rarer because a lot of the games I'll play for the channel for periods of time for whatever reason. And one of them was quite interesting. It was like go back to start. It was play the first game in your Steam library, like the first one added, which for me was Portal 1. And I know why I've got that in there. It's the reason I even got Steam. It's because I read an article one day saying Portal 1 is free today to download. I was like, oh, I like that. So I snagged that. And then I didn't really use Steam at all for ages after that. In fact, I think the very next game I got after that was Terraria, which I was playing a lot of, I want to say earlier this year. This is the wrong piece. Ah, shit. So that was quite interesting. But then on the other side of it is why not try some of these classic games, essentially, that people really like. One of them on there was Left 4 Dead 2. Borderlands 2 was in there. Don't Starve Together was in there. And then there are a few others. I want to say Dirt 4. A lot of them seem like multiplayer games, and it's a nice way to like essentially boost the community from nothing. They were given free trials of these games. It just seems an odd thing for them to do because it's kind of a fun event if you get on board with it. But at the same time, it's not like it's going to make them any money particularly. Well, I don't know, maybe people will end up buying these games if they like them. It's going to boost them a bit, but it's not like there's going to be a Steam summer sale coming up. I think that's already dated. It's not far away. What have I wrought? Got that in the wrong place immediately. So the long and short of that story is that Don't Starve is free, and I've got it downloaded. However, it's Don't Starve Together, which is like the multiplayer version. I don't know how effective that is as a single player game, because were I to get it, I would get the other one. I've made a mistake. I've seen it now. I've put a stud in backwards. Oh God, there's something crawling up my foot. It's alright. It's the wire from the microphone. I didn't overreact or panic. Could have been anything though. Could have been a spider. That's all I was really afraid of. I don't like spiders. It's my one weakness. That and extended social situations. What do I want? Is it this bit? There's no scale. 6, 9. I think it's this. Yep, it's definitely this. It's the same length as this. So I will likely finish off this video, edit it, and then start playing Don't Starve, and realise it's not for me. But that's how I live my life. That's the decisions I make. Oh, it's a fun bit now. I get to just put loads of grey on here. That's the best bit. Is it this way? Yeah, must be this way. Is that one off? I hope I got this right. Yep, that'll work. Today, when I say today, I mean like hours before I started this video, I started listening to a new podcast called My Dad Wrote a Porno, which you probably heard of, because I feel it was not popular, but I don't know if big is the right word. I heard about it years ago, like via, I don't know, Reddit or just various like internet news sites, and it was like, oh yeah, there's this really funny new porno, or not porno, series. And I heard that, and I was completely uninterested by it. It meant nothing to me, and I completely ignored it. And then someone else recommended it to me, who I trusted more than the first sources. This isn't right. This should be flush. In fact, it's these bits. These are the wrong bits. But what? How can they be wrong? Are they wrong? 6 wide. They are 6 wide, and they got to be 3, 6, 9, 12, 16 long. 4. They're not long enough. Somewhere there's a bit as wide as this, but much longer. And I'm now terrified that I've used it earlier on and fucked up massively. Shit. Okay, don't panic. Shit. Okay, let's take that off. Now, if it's anywhere, it's going to be on the bottom. Oh Christ, what fell out? This. Okay, so could be here, but I don't think it is, because those are sort of flush. Right, let's measure. The right width. It does appear to be the correct length, so they could be the pieces I'm after, but okay, something just crawled over my foot, and it felt furrier than a wire, for want of a better word. I don't know what it was. It alarmed me greatly. Alright, let's go backwards from where I was. Stick a bookmark in there. Gotta find these bastard plates I've lost somehow. There's a chance they're supposed to be from from a separate bag, but I don't think so because I can't see any. Okay, right. This could be the section I'm thinking of. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. 3, 6. Hang on. 7. Okay, so these two plates are probably meant to exist on this upside down section here. But what does that become? Where does it go eventually? It's one of the rooms. It's the room with a computer in it. And the rounded things. It becomes this room here. So let's just see if that's correct. I've forgotten which room. This one. I wonder if I can take these off without any issues. Oh. Apparently I could. So they're the bits I need, and I've got to put these in their place. And this is remarkably easy. That's the fact that this has all just happened and nothing's gone overly wrong with it is remarkable. Flush at both ends. Yeah, this bit's wrong now. It's supposed to be centered. But that's correct. So it's only out by 1. What if I just pull it off? What will that accomplish? Put that back in there, because that was probably in the right place, and just move it down 1. Is that? No. No, that feels wrong now. Is this the right piece here? Hang on. Oh, no. I was going to say, this piece isn't even in the diagram, but it comes up earlier. And it's supposed to be 3, 6, 9, 12 wide. 6, 3, 6. Well, this is the correct piece to be in here. And it has to get... Well, it's supposed to be flush on there, which goes like that. I've got an idea. Maybe this is correct and this here is all wrong. Yeah, that's it. That's it. We've sorted it. We've mostly got it figured out. Hopefully. Oh Christ, this bit's pretty well on there. When I turn this back the right way up, I suspect all the stuff in this room has just fallen out of place. Come on, you beautiful thing, lift off. Nope, the other way maybe. There's not enough room to get any kind of pivot action. Damn it. What if I jam that up there and just sort of force it with the U maybe? Ah, it's also fucking flush. Okay, yep, bit more than I wanted came off of that, but I think this... Oh Christ, no. No, I put too much pressure on that. Olympus has fallen. Oh God. Oh, it's gone bad. Okay, I need to invert the package. And oh, it's yeah, okay. Oh God, I've taken a whole room out. Okay. Okay, no one panic, no one panic. It's all fine. It's all... Oh, Christ. A bit fell off. Right. Okay. Now just very gently and gingerly need to reassemble these pieces that I don't really know where they go. Let's see, this bit goes flush with that. Yeah. Easy now. The quieter you talk, the less likely you are to fuck it up even more. Oh God. Okay, so that goes lengthwise. All right. Easy now. Okay, I believe all the pieces are where they should be now. I'm annoyed at myself for making these earlier mistakes. Fuck, where does this go? Please, just put it in there. It'll be our little secret that happened. Okay, back to making this room. Now this is all good. We're on this page again. We've got these two bits here. I fucking hope that I haven't like double errored myself here and actually I was right to begin with. There we go. That's what it's meant to look like. That's much better now. And now this will be flush in here. Yeah, perfect. It's remarkable that I managed to remedy that situation quite as easily as I did. I've just remembered that comes out of there. There's one piece in this whole thing. It's this little bit here. It doesn't stick to anything. I think it's supposed to be like a removable floor panel. But it means every time I flip it upside down, it just falls out. And I could put a temporary clip on it, I suppose, but that's asking for trouble. Right, so that's that done. And now continue with the building. Goes on there. See, I can now see why it's like so complicated to make this sort of arrangement. It is so that when you do fuck up, you don't have to disassemble everything to fix it. You can get lucky and just take off, you know, a handful of parts. As I was saying, my dad wrote a porno. It's a very funny podcast series I've just started listening to. It's English, which I didn't realise somehow. When I initially heard of it, I thought it was American and therefore would frankly not be as funny. You lack the wit of the English. It's a fact. The dry sensibilities. The cum jokes. One more peg. Right. When I say the word peg, I'm reminded of the TV series Boardwalk Empire, which came out at the exact time I decided to get into watching TV, specifically dramas on TV. Like before that, I'd watched like cartoons and sitcoms and light entertainment, that sort of thing. Never really got into like watching TV shows like people watch TV now, like on Netflix and stuff. So there's Boardwalk Empire. Where the fuck does this go? It's saying I need this bit, but it doesn't seem to tell you to put it anywhere. It's just here. Just hold it. Ah, here we go. It goes on the edge here. Yeah, and in Boardwalk Empire, there was a character called Peg, or Peggy. And I didn't like her. She was very, very annoying. And she seemed like her existence seemed pointless to the plot. Like it was about gangsters in the Prohibition, if you're not familiar. But then she was just there being Irish. And I don't know. I don't know. And then I stopped watching it because I got bored. Right, so this is the hardest bit now, is when it tells you to just put a whole room in, and it gives you very, very little in the way of where that actually goes. I think that one's correct. Spacer 2. Okay. Right, now I've got to turn the whole thing around to see this angle. Hopefully I haven't got everything on the wonk like the last time I put one of these in. It seems pretty good. That's all 4 rooms placed now. So, I don't know, that means something, probably. Almost certainly. Okay, just once a load of these little squarey things. So space of 3, and then it goes in there. Is that right? And then this one goes next to it. It's very hard to get the perspective of these correct. And invariably I will get it wrong. I am prepared for that eventuality. Okay, so this is flush. And it's not meant to be flush. It's meant to be one longer. Is that, no, that's not longer. Is this one wrong? Am I seeing things incorrectly? Fuck. Put that on there for now. It's annoying me that it can spin. Is that one the same length? Yep, that's the same length. How long is it meant to be? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 4, 8, 4, 8. Well, it's the right length. Is this the right length? 4, 8. Yep, okay, so in the picture, it definitely looks like this is meant to overhang, but it doesn't. And I can see from perspective that that is indeed possible, but fuck me, is it obtuse. I've got a shitload of these things still. I suspect I'm about to get rid of all of them. Actually, I'm nearly finished on this bag, and it feels like I've been doing it forever. A lot of intricate stuff in it. And apparently a lot of mistakes on my part. And then that on there. Like that, yeah, that goes well. Put that there. Oh, we're fucking flying now, aren't we? And now we've stopped flying. We have ceased to fly indefinitely. Little L shape on there. And a 3 wide. So I'm aware that I gave a podcast recommendation just now. And ironically, if anyone ever tells me to listen to a podcast, my immediate reaction is, fuck off. No, that's not how this works. Despite the fact that I listen to a substantial number of podcasts, like, I don't know, offhand I'd say I'm probably subscribed to 20 that update, weekly or more. I listen to all of them. I get a lot of time to listen to podcasts at work. So I subsequently listen to a fuck ton. And what I do is like every now and again I'll have some time off, or for whatever reason I won't listen to podcasts for a while, so they build up and I get a backlog, and I still work through them. And every now and again I get like ahead of myself, the equivalent of when you binge watch TV and you end up watching it week to week. And I sort of run out, and that's the time where I decide to add a single new one, listen to all of their past episodes, and then I'll have a new backlog built up, so I'll have time, if you will. Or, well, no, one of two things can happen. I'll either start a new podcast, or I'll just listen to an audiobook, and that'll give my podcasts some time to refresh. Coincidentally, I did just finish listening to an audiobook, Ready Player One, which I was interested in, and then I heard they were making a film, so I just said, yeah, I'll watch the film before I listen to the audiobook, because That's always the best way to do it. Never hear about a film coming out and then go and read the book, because you'll always be disappointed. If you read the book years ago and then watched the film, that's quite a good way of doing it, because you'll only have vague memories of the book, and it will titillate you just enough. Otherwise, film then book, always the best way to go, if possible. Yeah, something is wrong with this. I've put it together upside down. It didn't feel right. And no. A lot of Lego is like playing Spot the Difference, where I don't really read the instructions thoroughly enough, so I'm just spotting the difference between two pictures. Sometimes it's easier than others. Right, so this is some kind of siding, and it goes on the exact side I'm looking at, seemingly. Okay, right, that's nice. That's outer now. That's a rare section of outer we've made there, and I think we're making the exact same thing again. Looking at this, looking ahead. Oh fuck me. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no. I'm so retarded whenever I count these. Sometimes I count like how many spaces there are meant to be, and then it goes on the other one, and sometimes I count the one it's supposed to go on, meaning I get it wrong more often than not. Ready Player One as a film was very good, I will say. I didn't think it was going to be that good, because it looked kind of really cheesy, but it's Spielberg and it was really good. And I dislike anyone who sort of counted it out before it released. This is not good. There is a piece missing. Shit. This is a proper piece missing situation as well. I can only hope that it's underneath here. Damn it, it's not. Okay, don't panic. Don't panic. There's not many spares right now. I will ignore it briefly. Something may come up. Yeah, but the book, it's weirdly different to the film in that it sets up the Oasis, this wonderful online world where anything can happen, and it's like super exciting, super cool, sort of virtual reality environment. The whole thing is like the hunt for this Easter egg and the keys to get it. But every single challenge they do is one of two things, pretty much. They either have to play an old video game or reenact a movie. The reenacting the movie stuff seems fine and looks kind of fun, like being in your favourite movie. But playing old video, it just sucks. Like, they're in this wonderful online world. You've got like your whole imagination at your fingertips. You can be the hero. And they got to sit and play like terrible old video games, like fucking Joust or Pac-Man. Pac-Man's not a good game. No, I get the idea that everyone's supposed to be obsessed with the 80s because Nobed, who starts the challenge, was born in the 80s, so therefore loved the 80s. What are the odds that I pick up my box of spares and the exact piece I need was on top? And I don't mean just like the size and shape. It's the same colour. Like, it's the piece. If I were to send off needing this piece, this is what they would send me. It's suspicious, if anything. And the other trouble is, as a book, it's not great writing to make it so like he comes across this challenge. It's like, you've got to play Pac-Man and play the perfect game and get the top score possible. And then from a writing point of view, it's like, well, and he did it. there's no challenge there, and there's nothing exciting about that. Like, every single time he has to play a video game and it's hard, it's always this. I was struggling at first. I couldn't remember how to play. Then I found my groove. Like the amount of times he says, "Found my groove, got into the zone." It's just, it's laughable. But then again, I couldn't write a book for shit, and it was enjoyable and fun. And the main character's such an arsehole. Okay. I am really winding through this. I've actually got another audiobook on the go at the minute as well, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is a weird one because I read the books like ages ago. Then I listened to the radio series. Then I watched the film. I even watched the TV series. Had a brief attempt at a text adventure, but I can't stand text adventures. They're just so obtuse. Oh. And I've made the error that I started listening to the audiobook and I suddenly remembered, I was like, oh, I wasn't excited to listen to the audiobook. I actually wanted the radio play, which is, radio play, radio series, whichever, which is similar to an audiobook, yet quite different at the same time. So I've now got that I'm going to have to do as well. I'm going to have to find the radio series and re-listen to that. And because it was by the BBC, they've probably never made a digital version of it available for whatever reason. So you'll have to buy it on audio CD for an exorbitant price. I joke, but there was a time when I used to buy a lot of radio series on CD, and they're ridiculously expensive. Made another siding, and this time it would appear to go on the other side. I think this is the rear of the ship. Like this seems like the rear to me, because it's clearly got the engines, apart from anything else. Okay, so that slots in like that. Oh yes, that's nice. New page. And I also require some stuff from this bag. I need 6 of these tubes. These are the engines, I can already tell. 3, 6. Well, not the engines, this is like the thruster bit. Need those, that can go. That's spare, apparently. A few other little spare bits in there. I also need these 2 ladder-like things. And all of bag 5. Alright. Now, so far, I feel I'm yet to open and place these bags in a particularly successful or useful area. This will be no change. Small stuff down here seemed to work. Okay, not actually too much in here this time. Yeah, I mean, it's not a huge amount. It's a lot, but it's not huge. Those 2 bits are already together. I'm halfway done. Fuck me, this looks tiring. This is the worst part about starting a new bag, is there's so many pieces and you think you kind of had your head around it before. 6. I can tell I haven't been up to much since I last recorded one of these, because I feel like I have little to nothing to say. Watched American Gods. That ended up in a really annoying place. It did that thing that TV series do now, which I fucking hate, where you're watching a TV series and it's plot heavy, and you get to, say there's 10 episodes, you get to episode 7 or 8 and you suddenly realise this isn't going to conclude. This needs another season at least before it's going to finish. And it's so annoying because you think, oh, so what I've actually watched is the first half of an arc, essentially. And it really annoys me. It's such an American way of doing this sort of thing. English TV will give you a season. That season can be at most 6 episodes. You might even get just 2 or 3, and you better bloody finish your story arc. You can have 5 minutes at the end of the last episode to set something new up, if you're lucky. Right. Free them. Some grey. Sexy grey. Chuck a few holes in there. That's not right. Why isn't it right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. But it's... Oh, that's why it's not right. It's just one the wrong way. I was convinced I'd counted it though. Apparently not. And some little flat bits underneath. I can already tell I'm going to like this bag. Just looking at the pieces that are involved, there's... Oh, actually, look, I just remembered all these exist. But actually, no, overall, it looks like it's a bag of not nonsense. Will I live to regret that statement? Quite possibly. Does that go on there? Gonna have to assume it's unclear at best, obtuse at worst. That's a good word, obtuse. I don't fully know exactly when to use it, but I will use it with abandon. I assume other people, either I get it right every time or other people aren't sure, because I never get corrected on it. It's both a gift and a curse I have that people assume I know what I'm talking about and that I'll be right when talking about something. And as such, it can give me a certain amount of hubris in a situation. Quite often I'll add, if I'm talking to someone like sort of new-ish, I'll add to the end, or maybe not, I don't really know what I'm talking about, just to make sure no one's placing too much faith in me. Little rectangle, there we are. Apparently that was big news recently. Battlefield 5 or Battlefield V had a trailer where they got women in the campaign or something now. And it was like, as soon as they did it, like the trailer came out and then you see articles about people complaining about there being women in there. But I never really saw any of those people. And then I started to go looking for them. And it's like they only started to exist when others pointed them out. And it's such a weird thing. I can't understand people who care, to be honest, about anything ever. Life's too short to hate. All right, so this goes in there, and that in there. Lovely, lovely. My main, what I normally find is in online video games, when there's a female avatar, I normally find that person's better than me. I don't know if a woman's controlling it or not, but I normally find they are better than me. If there's a male avatar, I also normally find that they're better than me. Unless it's Monster Hunter, that's the only game I'm quite good at. Like most online games I'll be playing, I know I'm, like skill-wise, I might be average. Tactic-wise, I'm often a little better, but generally speaking, I won't be particularly good. Except Monster Hunter. I am actually good at Monster Hunter. And not in a like speed run, kill it quickly kind of a way. In a I won't die, but I will still do damage kind of away. Yep. Suddenly very parched. When I say Monster Hunter, I specifically mean Monster Hunter that isn't Monster Hunter World, because I haven't played that, because it's not out on PC yet, and I didn't want to get it on PS4. Which is a sneaky way of saying I don't have a PS4 and I wasn't willing to buy one. Despite the fact that, annoyingly, the list of games that I'd want to play on it has increased somewhat. Actually, no, Monster Hunter World doesn't count because that will be out on PC eventually. And the fact that it's been such a long wait will mean that it's probably going to be a good version of the game, at least. The current list of PS4 games I'd be interested in, Horizon Zero Dawn, which I keep calling Event Horizon, God of War 4, and I feel like there were more, but I can't think what they were. That one with the zombies on bikes. That I don't know why. No, everyone else seems down on that, but I like the look of it. It looks like there'll be a lot of zombies. What am I looking for, and does it exist? My autobiography. Okay, it's like a hanging down kind of square piece. That's what it is. I'll now do myself a favour and sort of stack things in a useful fashion. Okay, this cathartic as this is, it is not actually helping me one bit find what I need. My instinct tells me it's not in this pile, but I know fully to ignore my instincts in these things because it nearly is always incorrect. Okay. Right. Starting to think it's not in here. It's right here. Saying out loud that I don't think it's in there actually sort of channels it into an existence in a horrifying, bleak sort of way. I've just cheated there. I've pulled from the left. This is like spare pieces over here to put this in. So odds are when I get to the end, that spare will be replenished. Or I'll have accidentally used it somewhere else and it won't be in existence at all. One way or another, I will be screwing myself in the future. I can hear a quiet rumbling outside, as though someone is driving a very large, heavy vehicle by in a low gear or a high gear slowly. I'm not sure which. Is that right? How's it? Is this? I'm not planning ahead right now. I'm just sort of going on sight alone. It's a risky strategy. It's failed me in the past, and it will likely fail me again. But not this day, apparently. What the hell am I building here? Is this like a... I think this is the bottom of the engine, looking ahead at what it is. I need this. The bit that confused me was I saw this kind of weird long thing. I didn't realise it was all one bit. I thought I'd have to construct it and it wasn't telling me remotely how to do that. Oh, that's satisfying. I am lasering ahead right now. I'm going so fast I feel I'm definitely about to make a huge error. Is there a guy called Hugh Janus? Was that in The Simpsons? That was huge ass, wasn't it? That'd probably be a joke too far in The Simpsons for Bart to call up Moe's Tavern and ask for Hugh Janus. It would be funny, but I feel they wouldn't let that fly, would they? Right, so that's kind of the front, so that makes this bit the back. So that this has, right, let's get it closer so I can actually see what I'm dealing with. Mock the GameCube all you want, but I would love if this thing had some handles on it. Where's the handle? No. Right, so it clips on. Do we think it goes there? It must, that's the only way it can go. Okay, nice. Shit. Did this come off? As I lifted it away, this yellow piece appeared. It was actually the piece I said about grabbing from the left earlier, so... Oh, Christ. What? What kind of instruction is this? It's telling me to put this piece, like, somewhere here. I can't really see where, though. It's on the underneath. I feel like there's a reason I can no longer flip this over. And it's specifically, it's not telling me to flip it, which is unusual. Okay, I'm going to assume it fills in this gap that it fits in incredibly snugly. I feel like I just, you know, in a really unpleasing fashion. For me, the Falcon may have loved it for all I know. I don't know its preferences. Alright, so this, I seem to have to create a large wing-like construct now. It looks, once again, very pleasing. Is that going to go? That's gone, yeah. Nice. What? How? I've fucked this up already. It's goddamn mirrored. I'll probably have to do that again in a minute, so I'll leave them as is, because I suspect I will be making this again shortly. That confused the shit out of me. It just the next step I was looking at, I was like, this is physically impossible. Goes on there. You know what film I'm secretly really looking forward to, and I know it won't be good. It's the one about the Rock and the like, I don't know, the towering inferno or whatever. Where there's something about a skyscraper on fire and he's saving the day somehow. I haven't even seen a trailer for it. I think I've just seen posters. It looks dumb as all shit, and I almost can't wait. I feel like it's a secret sequel to San Diego somehow, which was another like equally dumb film, but strangely enjoyable. I'm almost at the point where I'm not actually excited for the good films that I know I'll like and enjoy, but I'm quietly excited for the trash. And I suppose that's why there's people who like Sharktopus and Sharknado and Son of Sharktopus, those sort of things. Even though when I've seen them, I think they are a step too far. If the film isn't taking itself seriously, then it loses all credibility. It's the key to a good sort of schlocky film. It needs to take itself seriously to a degree. Right, those are. Damn, all these mirrored pieces. It just doesn't do me. They look the same from a distance, then you pick them up, and they still look the same, but they're mirrored. I need 2 of these. Yep, definitely need 2 of these. Should be easy to see, because they're huge, relatively speaking. doesn't seem to want to be in there. Unless... Are they mirror? Let's keep going and ignore it, and hopefully it will fix itself. Which is not a good way to try and live your life, but it is what I do, and it seems to work out all right for me. I jest, but I do kind of drift through life without really worrying about anything too much, and normally it all kind of sorts itself out well enough. And I'm not saying like I rely on others to get things done. It's just with a laid back attitude and a positive outlook, things just tend to go my way. I don't like to admit it, but it's true. Okay, so I've kind of arranged these into somewhat grouped piles and have not remotely discovered what it is I need. Will that work? No. It needs to be opposite. No, not under there. I don't think it's actually in there. There's a chance it's left in one of the bags. It's not. That chance is 0. Wait, is it a grey? Yep, it's definitely grey. It's not that bit. I've looked at that 8 times, it's not that bit. Did I pile it underneath something, perhaps? Has the pile system hindered me more than helped me? No. The sorting method is foolproof. It's infallible. Stop looking at those. It's not those. Am I insane? It has to be here. What if I ignore it and see what happens? That's bound to work, isn't it? That's a reasonable strategy to use. So, you bastards. If you upside down buildings and you fucking... There we are. So that goes there. This turns in and is flush with this. Yep, the bit missing is definitely coming back to haunt me. Playing a risky strategy here. These red pieces are very, very pleasing colour, and I like them. What? Okay. Kind of one of these next, is it? That goes on top of there again. This is a very odd structure. It's very flat and angular at the same time, and I don't like it. It makes me think and it confuses me. And do you know what joke I'll never get tired of is people copying from Pink Panther when they hire a manservant to attack them at random times. That will always be funny to me. They copied it in that film with, what's his face? Bryan Cranston and James Franco. They copied it, I can't remember what that was called. Why Him? I think that's what it was. They had it in 30 Rock. It was funny in that. It's just always a funny joke, and I always like it. Let's see. Is that right? Going down a dangerous road here, building in this direction with a piece fully missing. It hasn't seemed to come back to bite me yet. I know where it goes in there. And we're yet to actually attach anything to it, except on this step I'm currently on when something clearly attaches to it. Some studs. Feels like this is miles away from me to see. Oh, I need a stud. Where are the studs? They should be in here, but I can't physically see the bastards. Ah, there they are. Now, where does it go on here? That corner? Yep. Okay. I hate these little ones. It's just like a 1x1 square with a kind of C-shaped hook on it. And they're always for like holding a rod or something. And it tells you to put them in with like the rough angle to use. And I always get it wrong. I know I'll have to reposition them later. Wait, what? Okay, that was a near miss. And oh, they're kind of like gun turrets actually. Maybe they are gun turrets. What do I need? These rods clip into. Oh, these are new. They look like binoculars. All right. Okay, these are quite fiddly. There's times like this where the injury on my finger appears to me. Essentially, it's a bit like you know in Men in Black when the big bug comes and first takes. I want to say Edgar. His name was Edgar, not Edgar, but Edgar. When he takes his skin and he's back in the house, and after he asks for water with sugar in water, his wife says your skin's kind of hanging off your face. It's a little bit like that on my finger, where the skin just isn't quite right on the flesh, and it's aggravating for a time. Okay, so these clip on like this. Oh. Well, that was shocking. Well, the trouble is, I'm halfway through this wing, and if I leave off where I am, I'll probably forget when I come in next time that I haven't like got all the pieces. So I'm really asking for trouble. So I feel, what do I do in this situation? Do I leave it as is and keep? Maybe I'll finish off this wing and go from there, because otherwise I will severely screw myself going forward. I've got to try. This is it. This is the bit I needed. Oh, that worked out. Just goes under there. Well, that was surprisingly anticlimactic. It just suddenly appeared in my moment of need. Yeah, they kind of look like they could be guns. I don't think they are, because I don't recall the Millennium Falcon having any tiny little turrets on it. Were this a Death Star, I could buy it, but it's not. On that note, a Death Star, annoyingly, will make a crap Lego model, won't it? Because it's a sphere, but it's too big to have any detail. Right. Oh. This gets complicated. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. This has now become a good stopping point. It wasn't for a while, and then it found its way to one. That was I don't know, the start of bag 5. It could be around episode 7 or 8 now. I never really looked beforehand, or at any hand. There's no sequential viewing to this, is there? So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time for more demented ramblings. Eventually, in the situation where I leave my fortunes in like a buried school bus somewhere, smart people will have to pore through all these videos to see if I leave any clues as to where in New Mexico I've buried the treasures. I'll give you a hint. It will be like walking distance from wherever they buried all those ET cartridges. That one, you can have that for free.